How's everybody doing today? This whole crowd, everybody, how did you guys find out about it?
Phyllis.
Phyllis, where's she at? She's not here today. All right. So you guys found us online? That's a scary place to find anything, I'll tell you. And end up in a room like this. So I don't know, about 2 years ago, I did my very first time being up here, I did the full armor of God in one solid just run. We ran through the whole entire thing like a crash course instead of now. A couple of weeks ago, we went back and started breaking these things down piece by piece. And we're going to stay today in the core of the body again today. We're going to take a look at righteousness. If just as a reminder, somebody wants to read the first section of that paper there.
Put on the throne of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles.
So it says to put on not just a piece, but it says to put on what? The full armor, right? So we're not going to just put around and mess around, just put a belt on. We're not going to just put a chest plate on, and we're not going to just put the boots on. We're going to put the full armor on. If somebody could do me a favor and read the next one, Ephesians 6:14.
Your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
So once again, we're going to stay in this core section. Last couple months ago, we did the belt of truth, and now we're going to do the chest plate, which is also the breastplate. I got told that I was scared to use the word breast in church, Jody. Somebody asked me if I could see how many times I could say the word breast in church. But before we really get started, I got a question for you guys. The table discussion. What is righteousness? Can it be taken away? Is it a gift from God? What is your idea of righteousness? Everybody take some time, and I hopefully you had at least a half a beer in you, so you'll talk a little bit and amongst yourselves, and we'll come back to it. People on their cell phones. I mean, it was an open book discussion, but I didn't mean your phones. Unless you were looking at the YouVersion Bible app, you were cheating. There was no answers. It doesn't matter where you Googled, what you Googled. The answers aren't in that phone unless it's in the Bible app. I promise you. I don't have any prizes like Jan did last week. Sorry, John. So, what did you guys come up with? Look, you were on your phone.
I did.
And what did you come up with?
Well, it's like doing doing the right thing and being able to justify it.
Justify it.
Justify.
Okay. So whatever you do, you have to.
So whatever's not wrong, you be righteous. Don't do the wrong.
Don't do the wrong thing. Okay, so it's more about the way you live, right? Okay.
Probably have your
Conform.
expectations of what you think right is, which probably isn't the same as like my dad thinks.
Oh yeah, my dad will tell me everything I did was wrong. What about you guys, Donna?
Yeah.
Doing the right thing when
Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Okay. All right. Crash.
Still following the way of the Lord, even when times get rough.
Okay. All right. So far we got the way we live. All right. What about you guys?
We just kind of came to the conclusion that it is a daily choice.
Okay.
It's just put on the breastplate of righteousness.
Okay. All right. So make sure your shirt matches your pants, kind of thing. All right. All right. I got you. Okay.
We choose to look at him every day. We choose to live in his word, his truth, his righteousness, his judgment. To No.
Okay.
Choose that, yeah.
Patrick, you're at another table by yourself. You got any input, or were you with Crash? Crash nailed it. All right. Now we're gonna pick on the new folks. What you guys got?
Be right.
To be right, morally correct. Oh, is that in the Google? Oh, now you lost. Well, we'll get back to it. We'll find it. I promise. But anybody else here? On the right path.
Correct, or what the Bible says, I guess. I think.
Come on, Chris.
Kind of like what you said, it's a daily.
Daily thing.
Actually, it's also a daily vow.
Yeah.
To
Sounds.
constantly try to do the right thing when you can.
I agree. It's a choice. You know, it really is.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Jody. So how are you? All right. Now that we done got picked on, what did you come up with?
I said that righteousness is the state of being in right alignment with God,
Okay.
which we can only do through Jesus Christ.
And I didn't see you on the phone, so that came right out of your mind.
No, not right in my mind. It came
Okay.
from
Learning.
the Bible. It's the state of being in right alignment with God. Yeah.
I don't know if it picked that up or not. I was trying to put it in your mouth. I was getting ready to take this off and actually just give her the whole thing and walk away. Not my clothes, Dan. Danny, come on. Man. Whew. What do you got, Steve? I can see your gears turning.
Matthew 5. When you go further in Matthew, when Jesus is doing the Sermon on the Mount, he says, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you won't enter the kingdom of heaven. So those guys were pretty hardcore about getting, not that they were right with God, but they sure all outward appearances looked like they were. Because of stuff, the way they lived, everything.
That's it.
We can't do that.
Right.
So I called it we stand before God, he sees filthy rags. Right?
Mhm.
Until I called it the Jesus filter, who's in front, and he sees Jesus. He doesn't see us, he sees us through Jesus. Jesus is our righteousness.
He's the modern, or the not so modern, what's that, Snapchat filter?
Yeah, the filter.
It's a Snapchat filter. All right. All right.
So, yeah, because we can't do that on our own.
Are we? We sure can.
The outward appearance.
Yeah. It was like in that same section that you were just reading about it, when they were tithing their mint, which was their smallest crops, and they were making it known that they were tithing, but they were basically just making it more like a show and an outward presentation, right? So, how about you guys? Oh.
Come from God. Can't manufacture it on our own, but we can choose to put it on.
Right.
We can also choose to take it off, but we can't have it without Christ, because, what is morality? Like,
Right.
if you base it on people, it's over here, right? Like, your dad thinks it's
Yeah.
right, thinks it's right. So,
Yeah. Right. So, I got anything to add to that? All right. Thanks, Ike. Yeah, I mean, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. That was a good buckle the chest plate and just be done with it, right? What do you guys? Don't look at me as an automatic I'm calling on you, just so you know.
What everybody else said, actually.
Okay.
I did.
I know. I wasn't going to make fun of you because I actually never met you before, so I wasn't going to make fun of you about your phone. But you're mean. All right, we're going to talk after class.
I think it's the difference between subjective truth and objective truth, meaning what is the true and what is my truth.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Gabby's got the whole Bible out with. Do you have any more highlighter ink? What do you got? Oh, you got notes too? Wow.
What is
Man.
morally right? If someone is not a believer, right? What do they see as morally right? Like, what is true to them for them to behave? What's their consideration of righteousness? What is their truth and their right? So they got to
And I think in this whole room, I think we really hammered it out that righteousness is the act of living the way that's just, and it is honest and faithful and the right relationship with God. I mean, that is the deepest dive I could find in Google, in the YouVersion Bible app on my phone. Everywhere, that was the definition that I got, was the right relationship with God. And it doesn't matter the relationship you have with the same people in this room, as it matters with Him. Then you start to build that down into all creation, not just your friends, your family, your strangers. It's the relationship and your legal and moral obligations. Believe it or not, it says legal. In the Bible, it does say legal. It's those rules to live by in your community are put in place for a reason, to maybe even guide you morally. So it's not that crazy of an idea that, you know, the laws and morality are all kind of supposed to be labeled, you know, intertwined together. Now, the Bible has many examples of righteousness, whether it's fasting, prayer, giving generously to the poor, forgiving others, even loving your enemy. But you can't think of righteousness as something that's given to you. I know a lot of you, I heard people say it was a gift. It's not given to you. It's the status of your own action. So everybody that I heard all these great things on this side conversation, I just kind of was like, yeah, that's great, because I knew we were going to unpack this. But you know, the thing that is, there's repercussions for your actions. And if you don't think so, we can go all the way back to Genesis and look at, you know, Adam and Eve and the apple. And from that great apple incident, the entire world has been at a battle with evil ever since that day. And so I lost my place here. Winston Churchill said it famously, though, that those who don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. And so for you Bible nerds, in the 1181 chapters of the world history book, aka the Bible, by the third chapter, humans began to encounter their spiritual enemy, who hates and constantly seeks to lead us to destruction. And so we're already flirting with rebellion of God in the third chapter of the Bible. And the history, the dive with Satan and the kingdom of darkness enters the world and isn't destroyed for 1176 more chapters. So every backdrop of human history, we clash between these evil powers and God to send Christ to free Adam's kingdom from sin and this destruction. So before we continue, a little bit more Bible nerd food for thought. The word righteousness only occurs once in the 4 other gospels, but it happens 5 times in the book of Matthew, or actually it's 7, and then 5 in the Sermon of the Mount. So it's only one more time in the entire other Bible, except for the 7 times in Matthew, and 5 of which are the Sermon of the Mount. So the reason we all had to Google is because it's not in there. It's not written in a place where you can find it like a definition. It's not, broken down anywhere. It's very loosely used in the Bible. So I'm going to give you all credit for getting out your phone, because it's not in there. It's not in there. So we'll get out of the nerdiness and get back to God and what is the chest plate and why is it so important for your righteousness? Can somebody please read Matthew 4:1 through 11?
And Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, tempted by the devil. After fasting for 40 days and for 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." And the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered,
I like this table.
"It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only." Then the devil left him, and the angels came and attended him.
So here Jesus is starved, hungry, 40 days, 40 nights, no food.
Shake it apart like you did.
It wasn't in pounds yet, so I don't know the conversion scale for that. It was in like stone or something. So he's starved. And here the devil is standing right there with a solution. A great plan. Just follow his offer and you won't be hungry anymore. And he's faced with these hard decisions, but for all of us, it would be hard. For him, he just knew what was right, stuck to his guns, and pushed through the hunger and all of the other scenarios that were said and to give to the kingdoms. And he already has them. So none of those offerings meant anything to him. And when we're right with God, those same offerings don't mean anything to us because we already have them. We already have access to that kingdom. We already know that we can't live on bread alone and we must I don't even know the word, get our nutrients from the word of God.
I just remember something. I actually wrote this one. In scripture says every man is right in his own. And it also says all your righteousness. So, like I said before, righteousness, true righteousness. I mean, you can be righteous by your own mind.
Mhm.
Choose righteousness of God. So it is
Right.
quite.
Yeah.
It depends on
How righteous is self-righteousness? You know? Do you know how many times, unlike unlike Jesus, I wish I had the easy button, you know? Oh, you got a problem, hit the easy button. But in reality, you're going to have those hardships. You're going to have those struggles. And whether it's on your phone or highlighted on your table, that Bible is not the easy button, but it's the get it done button. And it's the words that are going to carry you through and push you and help you through that hunger and that thirst for the righteousness that we all have. We wouldn't be sitting in here if we weren't trying to figure this thing out together. And the big draw to that entire scenario is there's not really an easy button. And it's to stick like Jesus to your guns and to work through those tough times. But we're going to go back to Matthew again, but just to recap the rest of that chapter, since we don't have as much time as I thought we had. To recap the chapter, Jesus leaves the wilderness. He finds out that John's in prison, and he heads to Galilee. And there he starts to heal some illnesses. He starts to preach, and then the crowds start to form right there in Galilee. And Matthew 4:19 is when he finally preached the famous line, "Come follow me." And then Jesus said, "I will send you out to fish the people." That's when he had met Simon, called Peter, and Andrew, and they were the fishermen right there in the lake, and they were casting out nets, and he came to them and said, just to follow me, and you'd become fishermen of the people. So that's where that famous line is, and we kind of skip through Matthew a little bit to get to this part of the service. So he goes into Galilee, and he's proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and he's healing the sick, and the crowds, like I said, it starts to grow. And then so we'll move into Matthew chapter 5, which is the Sermon of the Mount. It's even people, and many people that have never read through the entire Bible, they just hear Sermon of the Mount, and it's just something. You know, I've heard people that don't know, oh, it's the Sermon on the Mountain. That's not really its name, but it's very similar. So if we could, somebody read Matthew 5:3-11.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you.
So look at that fourth line again. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for the righteousness, and it will be filled. Do you think it had anything to do with his recent starvation, or is it just a coincidence? I'm not sure. I did some research, and I can't find anything that he was writing this at all. It was, I think, just straight from his heart at that moment. So maybe he did reflect back at 40 days of starvation, and that's the word choice that he used. But I think during it, yeah, and then he healed a bunch of people, and then he just used that in his words. I mean, it could be. So you are what you eat, right? Nutritionalists tell us that our appetite determines our diet. Our diet determines what we consume, and what we consume determines our health. Right? Anybody disagree with that? Diet determines intake. Intake determines our health, ultimately, right? And the same thing is true when we go into the spiritual realm, right? Jesus challenges us to look at our spiritual appetite with penetrating words and the four beatitudes. Well, the fourth beatitude, really. And I lied to you, Steve, because you wanted me to say Beatitudes, the Beatitudes. That's my last name if you didn't know. Beatty. So he wanted to tease me. I told him it wasn't in this piece of paper, but it was. So blessed are those who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness. So let's be clear. Is living proper morals the path to righteousness? Is morality, moralism, is that the answer? No. Moralism is obeying the moral law as a bargaining chip with God. Moralists must trust, and they must trust Christ for salvation, meaning that everything that they do is, I'm only doing this because I want this. I'm being moral because I want this, not because you trust in God. So we were talking, and I was just going to keep letting you run and run and run with it because I liked what you were saying, but morality, and I guess they had used moralism, is a bargaining chip. So using it as the reason why you think you're going to have access to the kingdom. I'm only doing this because I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. I'm saying the right thing. I'm caring about the right people because this is my only path to righteousness. Oh man. And it's not legalism. You know, you ever see the people that are holier than thou and they're like, oh, it's Sunday, or you can't work on the Sabbath, or I can't believe you went with your friends and watched that R-rated movie. Like, if you do something wrong, all of a sudden you're breaking that spiritual law. That's not what it is. So throughout this course of this day, we really unpacked a lot of things about what the false concept of righteousness was. And as much as it is important to be morally just, and it is right to follow the law both of your local community and the world and religion, it's a package deal here. So following that thing in your heart is the key. It's not I'm doing this for a reward. It's because you have to develop that trust in God. So when we understand God's unconditional love, we love moral law and we pursue true righteousness with all of our hearts and God's path, and we please Him. And to wrap this up, I think we're getting close on time here. We're good? Jesus described God's moral standards as being summed up in two great commandments: to love God with all of your being and to express love by loving your neighbors, and then ultimately loving yourself. Everyone knows that how we dress in the morning depends on his plan for the day. Do you put on nice clothes when you're going to go remodel a bathroom?
Yes.
No. Shirt and tie and a hammer, right? You put a raincoat on to go to the beach. Is that what he said? Oh, going in the rain. Yeah. So everybody knows you get dressed in the morning for the task that you plan to do that day. So when we put on that breastplate of righteousness. We're working towards righteousness. We're never going to get it done unless we work towards it. We're not going to wake up one morning and we're righteous. We have to get dressed and put that, and like you said, it's a choice every day, whether or not your shirt's going to match your pants, or when you put that breastplate or chest plate or whatever plate you want to call it, bulletproof, we don't, yeah, body armor. We don't have under, I don't, that just keeps the sweat off, I thought. Yeah, you got to do that too. So to wrap this up, we put that righteousness in our headlights. And the first step is to put that breastplate on and be prepared for that battle, because we are not in rainbows and butterflies. This world that we live in now, if it's never been as much as it's been before, a spiritual battleground. The enemy is at every single turn wanting to cancel us, condemn us, loop us into nonsense. Those that have struggled with, pornography. You can't drive down the street without, get a vasectomy sign and a picture of a girl with, big boobs on the sign. It's in your face at all times. Every turn, everywhere you go, there is a battle to fight. And if you're not protecting this heart, then you're going to perish quickly. Does anybody have anything to add to this?
Do you think women are better at it because they put bras on every day? They better at putting it on.
Added equipment. You have almost the same topics of discussion as Chruch. Yeah. We made sure he had a seat.
No, he's.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
There's a reason why they call it, but there's a reason that they call it, because it protects from the side's front. So when you think of it in a spiritual sense, is that it's not designed to be in a way when we retreat, because that means it's we're exposed. You have to be advancing and moving forward in truth, in righteousness every day, and be on guard and have that armor ready for you.
Yeah, that's incredible. You want to finish it? Don't run. I mean, that makes complete sense to me. If you can't win any battles running away. Maybe you retreat and step back and reposition yourself, but in the scheme of things, you're constantly advancing. Even if you take a step back or you stumble and you fail, you're still advancing, which is, like Leo said, that breastplate is on the front. Donna.
Predator, you always go at them and, like Satan comes at you, what are you gonna do, run away? No, you're gonna go at him and go, be gone. So you face them. You face them. Run away, if you run away, it's just gonna come at you.
Just like those 40 days, he basically told him that there's nothing for him that he can do, and to push them away. Ooh, crash.
Run, Forrest.
He didn't run backwards. He never ran back. I don't know that he could. I don't know if his legs would handle that. He didn't turn. He just ran. He was just running. I've never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would say that loud on a microphone, especially in church. Steve, you always have your mind running. I can tell. Running. Forward, running, but running.
Yeah. Leo's thing, we saw on the Kevlar. This is the biggest target right here. And of course, if you take the heart out.
That's it. That's it.
And if you're just randomly shooting at people, the target you're shooting at is gonna hit somewhere here, right? If you're shooting a gun or something like that. So yeah, absolutely right, but of course the Kevlar, it's the back too, right? But back in those days, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't designed to turn around and run because you.
Right.
You
had to move forward.
And that's where the enemy comes in, is that he's gonna try to take out your most vulnerable part, which is your heart.
Which is your heart.
If he can move your heart away from God, gotcha.
That's it. That's it.
If you have that breastplate of righteousness where you're moving towards a right relationship with God.
I wish we had the technology to bring back that part where you chest bump that water bottle just one time.
We do.
I don't have the technology or know-how to make it so it's only that much. I mean, I think you did send it to me, but too late now. We wanted to play the whole one instead, but
Guys, did you hear that? Your most vulnerable part is your heart.
Yes. That's why God says to guard your heart.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Thank you.
I got.
so we're gonna pick on all the new people. Was this scary enough that you want to come back?
You scared away all the way.
I scared you away all the way to Illinois. All right, Matt, you're gonna have to fire me. The whole tribe is going back to Illinois. Just the two of you. Oh, now they're all going back. Did you guys at least have a good time? Yes. Oh, I did say boobs, didn't I? That's twice now.
Boobs and breasts, it's the same thing.
They both begin with B, you're right. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I just want to point out that our righteousness is Jesus. And so it's actually telling us to put Jesus on every day. And if we do that and we're putting Jesus on, our actions will follow. So I don't think
I
we're
agree.
supposed to be focusing on our own righteous actions. I think we're supposed to be focusing on Christ. And if we do that,
I think that loops back into that heart. If your heart is protected, because literally every single failure you have on that of your own doing is the enemy. And if you're protecting that heart because I don't think you can wrap it in some kind of barricade if it's not right. So, I mean, could you imagine, like, if your heart's not in the right place and then you put on this armor to protect it, you're just protecting negativity and the exact thing you're trying not to be, right? So I think you have to almost daily. I think that's why a lot of times, like, the devotional is first thing in the morning. I have a book that I started to read, but I unfortunately failed too. It's called The First Hour, and it's a regimented daily devotional for the first hour. And I have it, and I've started it 3 times, and I make it, and I go back to the beginning because I can't get through every day dedicating that first hour of my day. A lot of times I got to get up by the time I make coffee, check email, and next thing you know, I'm like, well, it's not the first hour anymore. But they say that fixing that is flushing out all that negativity.
that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do it at all just because you missed the first hour.
No, I just did something. I'm just saying I just fail at doing it in the first hour, but I honestly believe if you get out that, or your devotional or read the Bible first thing in the morning and you start preparing yourself before you get dressed, then you're going to put that breastplate on the proper heart and not the terrible heart that you had after you didn't have coffee.
Right.
I have my coffee while I still two-thirds ones.
See, that is that's the answer. Now I got it.
Get up earlier.
I'd have to start my day at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, no, I think you got to get up and drink coffee.
Says no.
Oh, now we have to know.
Choose every day. Time is important to all of us. So exactly, right? So say you start the first day with the phone on news, say you choose instead of the news, you choose God's word instead.
You are what you eat, right? Oh.
And then I think it's super important to start the first part of the day with the good news. The good news. not
Start the
the
day with the
worldly
good news, not the world news, not the local news. All right. Anybody else have anything else before we pray out? If you're the praying variety, please join me now. God, I want to thank you for this time and the people that came here today to listen to your words that happen to be from me today. And I just hope that everybody finds it in their own heart to put on that breastplate of righteousness and to focus on you in the morning, the afternoon, all day long, just remembering the fact that we need to be protected and use your words as our guide. Thank you for everything that you've done. Amen.